Hi everyone, I'm Elizabeth, and today for our teen and tween craft, we're going to make drawstring bags and travel size tic-tac-toe board games. So let's get started. Okay, first we are going to make the drawstring bag, and you have a piece of fleece and a piece of yarn. Now there should be two sides to the fleece, a fuzzy side and a not as fuzzy side. I want the non-fuzzy side to be the inside of the bag, so I'm going to have it faced up on the table when I take the yarn and start to loop it through the holes. So again, just loop it through all the holes all the way around. And it looks like it's a small piece of string, but that's because you are going to pull it tight. So when you don't let it get through the very end, you might have to go ahead and start pulling it a little tight to get it through. But you should have enough string to still have a pretty big opening, but close the bag tightly. And actually this last piece here, I'm going to go up and down through it so that I have the two ends to close together. And you might want to shape the bag just a little bit, pull out the bottom. But now you can pull the ends, so you have plenty here to go ahead and then tie your bag. And that's how you make the drawstring bag. You can untie it, open it some, pull out whatever you need without the string coming off. So that's it for the drawstring bag. Okay, to make your tic-tac-toe board, you're going to be doing a back stitch. So you should have a needle and some thread. Go ahead and thread your needle. And the thread, you might want to go ahead and cut it in half because you shouldn't need it all at one piece. So there should be some markings on the fabric piece to help you, guide you making the lines for your tic-tac-toe board. So instead of starting at the end, you're actually going to go in about 4 or 5 holes. It might help if I don't drop my needle. And you're going to go through. So again, I'm not starting at the end. And I'm not going to knot it. I'm just going to leave a little tail on the back side because it should get looped through. Now you're going to go back to the end and go down. And that is stitch number 1. Now it might be easier for the back side to look and go up 4 spots from your first initial one that you went in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you come up, you're going to be 4 away from this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So go up through it. Now this is where, again, it's kind of called the back stitch. You're going to go back through the same hole that you came up on the very first time. So you want to go through that hole to make, basically looks like one continuous line. So again, on the back side, I'm going to count up 4 from the last one I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, and go up. And then I'm going to go back through the one that is closest to me that I had come up earlier. And that's your back stitch. So see how it makes a nice straight line? There's no gaps in it. So this should be my last stitch. And again, I'm not going to really knot it. I'm just going to kind of cut it, and you can just tuck the tail underneath an existing piece of thread on the back side, or even if it hangs loose, it should not come undone unless you really pull on it. So that's the first line. And so we'll go ahead and do the second one here, and then I'll show you how to do the diagonal ones. Okay, so I've got my 2 lines. I'm going to show you now how to do the lines this way. And it's basically the same. I just want to show you how to jump the lines that are already existing. So you want to go ahead and go up probably about 4 dots up. You don't want to start at the end. Leave a bit of a tail. Go back down at the end. Go up about 4 or so dots. That's about too many. And then go back down the one you started at the beginning, the very first one you came up. Now, when you go up 4 dots, 2, 3, 4, it's going to put me pretty close to the one that's already there, and that's fine. If you happen to be closer to 2 dots back, that's fine, or if you're over it, 1 or 2, that's fine too. You just don't want to come up through the existing line. See how my needle's coming up through that line? I don't want that. So either go back 1 or ahead 1 or 2, but make sure your needle is coming up just a little before, a little behind, or a little above that line. Go back through. Then when you go over 4, kind of jump the line. I wouldn't count that as 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull it up. Make sure you don't get a knot in the back. And then go back down the one that's on the other side. So that's how you jump the line, and still kind of help you create just basically a solid line across, even with the existing ones. So then continue on until you get to the next one, and you'll do basically, make sure I don't get a knot, basically the same thing. And if you need to do like 3 up instead of 4 up so you don't end up on that line, that's fine too. You don't have to do necessarily 4 dots. You can do 3, you can do 5. It's just if you try to keep the dots, the number of dots you go over consistent, it's going to make your little lines a little more consistent as far as the sides, or the stitching I should say, consistent as far as the sizing, but it's not that big of a deal. So this one has kind of 2 before the line, and that's fine. So I'm still going to count that as like 1, 2, 3, 4. Go up. And then go back down all the way over here. And that is fine because that helped me jump the line. And see how I'm making a nice straight line across. So keep finished to the end. And then when you finish this side, you're going to make another line down here where I have it marked. And that will then give you a 6 square board game piece to use. And I'll show you the finished product one more time once I get to the end here. And again at the end, just cut off the excess and leave a little tail. Doesn't have to be that much. It's probably not going to come unthreaded at all. And again, once you do that last line, it will look like this, and you can use it to then put your buttons and play around with tic-tac-toe. So I hope you enjoyed this and had fun. Stay tuned for next week, and we'll have another craft for you. Thanks, guys.